I recently bought a bunch of items on eBay. So I bought an RCA Videodisc player and a VHS player from 1981. Now, I've been collecting these different formats for movies, music, floppy disks, and stuff for a while. But I recently got an eBay account and decided, why not buy a player so I can actually play some of these things. Now, there are different formats for movies. There are beta tapes, RCA video discs, VHS tapes, laser discs. I decided to get the RCA video disc player because that's a little more unique. Like a laser disc is kind of plays like a DVD player. Just a bigger disc goes in. A beta tape, the player is kind of like a VHS player. Just a different tape goes in. So if you don't know, I'll tell you about the different formats. So the beta tape came out in 1975. A beta tape is kind of like a VHS tape. I think they just said the VCR for them is similar. The tape goes in like in the same way. The tape is a little smaller. The design is different, so there's a distinct difference. And they use similar things, but there are some differences. Now, VHS tapes came out not long after that, like in 1976 or 7, and there was a big war in like during the 80s about like which is better. No, if it's true, I've heard that VHS tapes actually won, just because they're cheaper, but the beta tapes were actually better. Like you could record one show while watching another. The beta tapes were made till sometime in the 90s, I think. There's also something called an RCA video disc. Now you know, like records and albums, and you know the big size of 33 1/3. An RCA video disc is kind of like that, except for movies. Now a disc is shinier, like a laser disc or DVD. It doesn't really look anything like a laser disc. It looks more like an album, but they have something a little different because it's shinier. But it's about the size of a 33 1/3, and it's black like an album. But you know how 33 1/3 and 78 have the smaller hole, and 45 has the big hole. RCA video disc has a hole like that of a 45 record. And it's the size of a 33 1/3 album. It's for movies. And it's double-sided, about an hour or so on each side. So like a 3-hour movie would take up about 2 discs. Now there's also something in the 90s called a laser disc. It was like a DVD, but the size of a 33 1/3 album or video disc, you know, that size. Now I'm not sure if they made them for music too or not. There are these 12-inch ones for movies. And they were double-sided, like a RCA video disc. Like a DVD, but bigger and double-sided, so it obviously didn't fit as much for the bigger size. I think it had special features and stuff that like DVD. RCA video disc didn't have special features, just the movie. Now, I've heard that RCA video discs started like in 1981, I think, and the players were made till 84 and the disc till 86. If that's correct. That doesn't make any sense because like VHS tapes and beta tapes were already out at that point, so it's like going backwards because like records and albums were out before 8-tracks and cassettes, you know. So maybe I'm wrong on that, but I thought they were only around the 80s. So I'm not sure exactly what their purpose, like why they made them. If VHSs and cassettes were out. I mean VHSs and betas. Anyway, there are 2 models of these. Now this is the older one. Now the newer one is like silver, and I don't think it had this big switch here, so I'll talk about in a minute. And it looks newer. Now I find the older model more fascinating. So this is probably from around 1981 or so. In case you haven't seen one, I'll show you an RCA video disc. Now I'm collecting these. I have about 10 so far. Now this is the movie Christine. You've probably heard of it or seen it. Now, the interesting thing about these RCA Videodiscs is the disc stays inside the case. You never see or touch it. So, unlike DVDs, it's not going to get scratched from touching it or whatever. So that's one thing that's better about these than DVDs. Well, I think retro technology in general is better, but anyway. Now before I had a Videodisc player, and I just have like one of everything to show off the different like formats and stuff. I took the disc out so I didn't like if someone by showing someone my collection I didn't just show them this plain case. I wanted to show them the actual movie. It was kind of hard because the disc is supposed to stay in there, but I was able to get it out. Now I'm not sure if it's playable or not now. This is how you play them. I have this plugged in, but it's powered off right now. Can easily turn it on, but I don't really feel like that right now. There's a switch. The top this is off, and then play, then as long as it says load, just unload. First you would have to turn the TV on and stuff. You flip this switch down to load, touch unload. Now this crack opens up. And you slide the case in like that. And you slide the whole case in, slide it in all the way. And you'll hear it like make a noise, and then you'll take the case out and see how it's all closed up on the top. And then when you take the case out, it's all open. Now, I'm not sure where this top piece goes, but anyway. And at some point, like now or so into the movie, the screen will go black. You have to flip the switch back to load/unload for play. Put the case back in. Pull it out, flip it around, and then you put the case in upside down, like this, and you play side 2. Now, you can't really see it, but it says side, and then 1, 2. Side 1 is playing, 1 lights up, and side 2 is playing, 2 lights up. Now, you know how with like records and albums, there's like a needle that touches the disc, and then that's how it plays. Now, see this pause button? When you pause it, the needle lifts up from the disc, and the screen goes black. And then the play button is over on this switch, so to unpause it, you just click the pause button again. Now there are 2 types of rewind, fast forward. There's one, the slower kind, it's just the regular rewind, fast forward. You can watch it, rewind, fast forward. And then this one is a rapid one, so the needle lifts up for the faster fast forward and rewind, so the screen goes black. Yeah, that's about it on the Videodisc player. So the other thing I bought is a VHS player from 1981. No, I don't have it hooked up yet, obviously. I'm still using that one. When I do get hooked up, I think I'm going to put the VCR on the big part of the desk and move the TV to that small one. Get rid of the fish tank, because I don't have any fish anymore. So this VCR was from 1981, so it's about 32 years old. And now it's 2013, the year just started, so maybe more like 31 years old, depending on when the year this was made. Anyway, so it's a bit different than the modern VCR. Well, not really modern, because VCRs aren't made anymore, but, you know, a VCR from like 6 or 7 years ago. So it's a bit different. First of all, it's bigger. Things were bigger back then. Also, you'll notice that the VHS goes in on the top. You click the eject button, this thing pops up. You slide the tape in, press down on it, and then you can actually see the tape in there, and you'll be able to watch the tape move as you watch the movie. You'll also notice these buttons, you can't really see it, but 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, A, B. I'm not sure why it starts with 2, not 1, but there are only 13 channels back then. I'm not sure what A and B are for, but anyway. Those are all channels, because there are only 13 channels in 1981. You also notice this clock here, it's a regular digital clock, right? There's a digital clock, it has like 8 lights and 8 bulbs, and certain ones light up to make the number. Before that, they had rolling and flipped numbers for different counters. Like I have an old rolling radio alarm clock. And digital came out, I guess, somewhere between late 70s and early 80s. This counter, I don't know why digital was already out, but this counter has the old rolling numbers. If you can really see it right here. Anyway, there's something at the bottom. I'm not sure exactly what that is. More buttons up here. Now the other fascinating thing is this remote. You know, it has a long cord attached to it. And in order to use the remote, you have to plug the cord in. You know, a little button. Not button, but thing that says remote, and you plug it in. This is where it plugs it in. I'm not sure if they ever had TVs with wired remotes or not. I don't know if it just went straight from buttons on the side to unwired remotes, or I never heard of a TV with a wired remote, but that doesn't mean it didn't exist. Now, I'm not sure at what point VCRs started getting smaller. Because when I found at Goodwill a few months ago from the early